What's going on, everybody? Oh, forgot my microphone's out of the wrong spot. I'm sorry, I've been having technical troubles this evening. That's why the introduction didn't play, and I didn't do like the little music and video that I usually start off with. And hopefully everything looks and sounds okay. Yeah, gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I've made actually a couple of small changes here in my office for my live streaming setup, and yeah, it's just a little bit funky. So ask you guys to bear with me tonight. It's been kind of a wacky day or two. I don't know how everybody else is doing out there. Things are actually okay here on the farm. It was like unseasonably warm today. It was like, I think the high was like 71 or 72 here on the farm, which was this November 6th? That is weird and not the normal thing. But yeah. All right, so looks like we got folks queuing up here in the chat too. We got I see Lynette from 13 Moons Over Mayhem. I see Danny from Wicked Awesome Gardening. I see Katrina from Sow and Tear. I see Debbie, aka Piper Lely, Rebecca Mudshank. What's going on, everybody? It's good to see everyone. Hope everybody's doing okay, hanging in there. Sarah Schneider, what's going on? Yeah, farm meeting therapy. Yeah, this is meant to be just kind of a chill hangout, ask your questions. I'll give you guys some updates on stuff that's happening around the farm. And kind of, as Von Patsy's saying here, needing a distraction. This is meant to be a distraction. This is meant to be not a politicized space or, depressing space. This is going to be just kind of hanging out here tonight, shooting the breeze and, hanging out. Lisa does not think this is the greatest title for some reason, though. Hey, what's up, Assassin32 VR? Good to see you, buddy. But things are good. Like I said, it was unseasonably warm today. I made the very prudent decision, I feel like, of I went to bed really early last night. Like I usually go to bed somewhere around like between say 9:30 and 11 is typically my bedtime, depending on how disciplined I'm trying to be. Last night I went to bed at 9:30 but I woke up at like 4:30. It was just kind of like meh. So got out, shot a video this morning, did some work around the farm. We are what I will call, like, for the farm season, we're in stick season right now. So all of the birds are now officially living in the hoop coop. You'll actually see more of that in tomorrow's video. All the birds are in their hoop coop. The goats are in their goat yard. The cattle are still on the upper pasture just because it's been so warm. Heck, I'm not even worried about the water freezing this week because it doesn't look like the temps are going to drop below 32. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Murray Langley? Good to see you. And so, Edna needs some weird chicken therapy. I'm not sure if I have any weird chicken footage queued up here tonight, Edna. Unfortunately, there will be weird chicken therapy in tomorrow's YouTube video, which will come out around 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. This actually one I feel really good about. It's fun. And so let's see. What do I want to cover here? So there's kind of did all the chores, kind of worked around, did some stuff. I crashed my drone though and broke. I actually have it downstairs. But yeah, I crashed the drone. And so I'm gonna have to fix that. I think I'm gonna be able to fix it myself. But I definitely crashed the drone, and I don't know, wasn't the best way to start the day. But yeah. All right, I finally see some questions here, so I'm going to start going to your guys' questions too, because that is part of the plan for tonight. And KC asks, how is the new Rooster? And the new Rooster, who I still haven't named, but I actually am going to name him tonight. You guys can drop your suggestions in the chat. Before the end of this live stream, I'm going to pick one of the names that you guys suggest, and that will become the new Rooster's name. He has settled, though, really well in with the rest of the flock, and so things are really good on that front. So thumbs up. New Rooster is happy. I'm actually curious, because I know Danny's here as one of our moderators tonight. I'm curious to hear how Barry White's doing. But yeah, by the way, guys, big shout out and thank you as always to our moderators, particularly Danny over at Wicked Awesome Gardening. Katrina over at So and Tear, and Lynette at 13 Moons Over Mayhem. Honestly, guys, without their help and trying to like manage the chat and keep things from going crazy, it'd be much, much harder to do this. So yeah, there you go. Mitch has a good question here. So on my other YouTube channel, so not the Goldshot Farm YouTube channel, but I have a second YouTube channel called Morgan Gold. I actually did a video. The last video I did on that channel was basically asking the question, why don't we interview political candidates and treat it like job interviews? And in making that video, I was actually able to get a couple of our candidates for our state Senate seat here in Caledonia County to come to the farm and sit down with me and do interviews. And it was really cool. It was a great process. Both candidates were outstanding sports when it came down to it. I'm actually not going to share who I voted for, but I will say Scott Beck, who was the Republican candidate, really great guy, really, really down to earth, really sharp, really knows what's going on in the state and is like really tuned into all of that stuff. He ended up actually winning the election yesterday. And so he's going from being the state representative. So like Vermont's government, local government, or state government has like two chambers. So it has like representatives and then it has senators. I think there's like 13 senators, maybe 15 senators, something like that. And then there's a whole bunch of representatives representing smaller pockets of the state. And so he was representing St. Johnsbury. Now he's kind of representing in the Senate Caledonia County, which is, or most of Caledonia County, which is like where Peacham is as well. And so congratulations to Scott. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. And yeah, I think, again, I really appreciated both him and Amanda, their participation in the video, as well as just really how both of them approached the race. I think it was a very good, positive race. And so this will probably be one of the few political conversations I have tonight. But it was really good to see. And yeah, I don't know. I'm becoming more and more a fan of Vermont politics and very fascinated by it. All right. All right. So Liz Anderson loves the title. Somebody else I saw, I think I missed it. They said they really didn't like the title of this live stream. I don't know. So here's the thing, and I will mention this. Oh, I'm sorry. I got totally distracted here, but Calvela, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm actually, this week I'm doing my chestnut seedlings, and so it's perfect timing, and I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you, buddy. Sorry, I totally got ADHD'd right there. What was I saying? Oh, the titles. Yeah. So, when it comes to the titles of these live streams, I never know what to pick. I mean, I feel like I could always just do the boring, all right, this is the November farm meeting. But I don't know, just to entice people, try to give you like some sort of fun, like thematic thing. And yeah, the goats are doing really well. And the thing I actually wanted to mention is I'm just telling you guys on the live streams, I won't mention this in a video until it actually happens, but we're probably going to be getting another goat in the not too distant future. Not like right away, like in the next week or two, but like probably before the end of the year, we will have another goat living in Wuthering Heights. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, I'm not going to mention that in a regular video. And so that was actually the one thing that's why I ended up using a goat theme for today's title. And in case folks are wondering, the goats are actually doing really, really well. And they are like, I don't know. Yes. Somebody else, I saw this, where they were asking like, are the goats basically pets? And I would say it's fair to say that they are pets. They're not like livestock. Like I don't treat them like the other livestock. They don't really produce anything. They're kind of in that same category as the goats. Like, I don't know. They don't have the same like level or position or like importance of a Toby dog or an Abbey dog or the barn cats, but they are like just the next level down, probably even just a half a step above the cattle. Well, I was actually wondering. Oh, it looks like Lil's downstairs with Allison, probably hanging out. All right. So Ron Swanson is doing really good, Thomas, and Our call duck, Ralph the Duck, he's also doing really good. So they're both good. So yeah, no new news or nothing really critical to report, but they're both doing well. Hey, Charlie, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. So will you be making tree hay now that tops of your barn would be ideal for storage? Um, particularly with the goats, I'm actually finding that I'm doing more limbing and treeing. And so um I won't be doing it to feed the cattle in any sort of meaningful, significant way, but I will be doing it throughout the winter for the goats. Just because they nutritionally need it and it keeps them happy and it keeps them from trying to escape because it gives them basically a distraction. And so I don't know. I think you're right that storing stuff like that in the barn makes perfect sense. And so I don't know. I might try to build a more official system for how I do it. Right now, it's just kind of half-assed. Like I just go out there with like a pole saw or chainsaw and like hack off some limbs or chop down some saplings and then drag it out to the goats. But maybe I'll get like more, I don't know, professional in how I do it. But yeah, good, very good question, Charlie. Homestead Jude coming to, yeah, good thing Alfred tricked you into it. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I'm actually super happy that I got the goats too, and appreciative even of Alfred tricking me into it. And in terms of the origin of the song, I actually did it as like a prank for Alfred because he and I are just always kind of playing pranks on each other. But like I thought it'd be really funny if I like made up a theme song for him. And so I went on the website Fiverr where you can hire freelancers. And I found like a musician who's just a really talented bluegrass musician and like gave him some thoughts and ideas for a song. And he really did some magic where he took that and turned it into the song that you hear today. So yeah. Hey, what's up there, Eric? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, the mod squad here is not sleeping well. I feel bad for them. Oh, Betty, thank you for bringing this up because I actually wanted to talk about this tonight. So, as you guys know, we have a book that I put out last year. It's almost, it was actually just about a little bit over a year ago. I put out the first book, Toby Dog of Goldshaw Farm, which I don't think I have a copy of right at my hand, but if I did, I would hold it up. Anyway, so that first book came out. I have been working on and finishing the sequel right now, and I've actually been working on it like even as recently as today. It's going to be titled "The 8 Lives of Little Barn Cat," and it is a sequel to the first book. And the intention I have is there's probably going to be, I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 10 books that I end up writing in this series if I really can keep to it. And the second book will come out next year. The third book, which is going to actually be about Pablo, not Abby, which I know is your question. I'll get to Abby in a second. I was going to try to write it this winter. I've actually, and I can't talk about the project, but I have a new project that's sort of popped up that is going to be taking my attention and time away from being able to write the Pablo book this winter. And so that's going to be delayed a little bit. I don't exactly have timing on it. After the Pablo book, though, there will be the Abby book. So there is an Abby book. I have like actually most of the story already kind of mapped out in my brain and kind of know where it's going to go. But it's a book that will be coming, I don't know, 2027 maybe, I think, if I had to guess. So hang in there, guys. And like Drinking Stitch says, hit that like button, like button, excuse me. And I'm going to belch because I've been drinking this. Yep, as always, tonight's flavor is cranberry lime. Yeah, CC, my experience was not that different. Oh, well, I'm happy to provide that, Tyler. Thanks for hanging out here tonight. Yeah, no. So Diane, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure Allison's like just downstairs on the couch watching TV, and I don't know if I don't think Allison's gonna mind me talking about this, but because I don't know, it's a very funny little detail, but I'll tell you guys the story. So, we have like an electric blanket that Allison really likes to use, and so like if she's like sitting downstairs, and like our house is old and drafty, and so she'll often like sit with like an electric blanket while she's watching TV. And Lil loves to sit on the electric blanket. And for some reason, Allison nicknamed it Cat Mom because I think because she thinks it feels like a cat. and so Lil likes to sit on what Allison calls the cat mom, which is an electric blanket. Oh wait, what's Big Mama's question? I'm curious. I think I missed it. Here's the question. Can ducks and chickens survive 26th degree snow, or pretty much got a foot, unfortunately? Yeah, so Big Mama, you can easily have ducks, chickens, geese, turkeys, all of those animals in cold weather, like, our climate. Excuse me. Our climate here in Vermont, for example, we have lots of snow. We can go a couple of weeks at a time with the temperatures in sub-zero. And so you can definitely have that. I think the important thing is that they have a good protective coop that is well ventilated, but also dry and clean, and can keep them out of the moisture, because actually the cold isn't as bad as the moisture and the cold working together. And as long as they're not chicks, and it's funny, I'm actually looking and I see Lynette's answer, like, she's spot on. Yeah, as long as they're not babies, really old or really sick, I think that is exactly right. They will be fine. Lots of either dry like shavings or straw, like those are the types of things to go to. Yeah, your boy's doing good there, Danny. All right, hold on. I'm realizing I'm already falling behind here. Okay, we got our first rooster name suggestion, Speckled Sam. I like that. No, we're gonna keep that in the pool here. Speckled Sam. Yeah, actually, Scandic, that's a good one. So I'm not going to build it just yet. I'll probably do it in December or something. I have a plan for doing better goose nests this year. I feel like I've learned some lessons over the last couple of years, and I have figured out a better way to do it. And so, yes, there will actually be probably a whole video on the nesting boxes as we get closer to laying season for the geese. Oh, I like that. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, The Rock. I don't know. Yeah, I never liked The Rock, I will admit, but I think it's a very clever name. I get it and I like it. Charles the Great, maybe. Oh yeah, Jenny. Drop Dead Fred did drop dead, and in fact, I'm pretty certain he was actually our dinner on Tuesday night. So yes. Or I'm sorry, Monday night, but yes. Not the greatest title, because not the political, but very hard day for us who are literally so sad. I know, Lisa. I don't mean to make you sadder. That is not my intent. So apologies if that was the case. Oh, well, thank you, Big Mama. Crow Capone. That's an interesting one. Crow Capone. Oh, Tuxedo Cat. Yeah, I have been slacking. So, I still haven't finished bagging up all of the catnip, and I didn't want to put it on sale until I had all the bags and knew like what my final quantity was. I've finished harvesting and drying everything, and like I've gotten pretty much all of it processed. I just have to like weigh it and bag it, and then that's kind of like the last step, and then I have to like actually do some things to get it set up in the online store. I did not have my act together for tonight. I apologize. I know I said last time I was going to do it. I'll probably actually do it later this month. You'll see maybe like a special live stream pop up out of nowhere. Maybe if you guys subscribe to our email list or our Patreon, I'll probably give you guys like a little advance heads up if you're in either of those two places too. Yeah, so honestly, here's what happened. So because when I hurt my foot, I was out of commission for so long, that built up a whole bunch of stuff that I needed to take care of. And so for the last like 2 weeks, now that I've kind of gone back to full-time working around the farm, I've been kind of busting butt to just get a whole bunch of stuff done before the snow really starts to fall. And so I've deprioritized certain things, and the catnip has been one of them. But it will go out. I haven't I don't know. I easily have 20 pounds of catnip, maybe something like that. So there's a lot of catnip, and believe me, 20 pounds of catnip is a lot of catnip. All right, Kringle, I have a few questions. Do you use Vermont's famous Bag Balm? So to answer your first question, yes, I do. So, and I think they're originally from Lyndonville, Vermont, if I'm not mistaken. I know there's like a Bag Balm building that I drive by up there, and the answer is yes. It's actually great for my hands. I'll typically put it on that, particularly in the winter. So yes, I do use Bag Balm. Has it snowed yet? And the answer is yes. Actually, tomorrow's video, you'll see the first snow of the year. I just happened to be shooting a video that day, and it wasn't a lot. It was like probably less than an inch, but you got the nice like stick season kind of cold weather vibes in the video tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is also a very chill video. It's gonna be kind of like just relaxing. It was the intention I had with that one. Oh, Danny has an update on Barry White. Let's see what he's doing. Barry White is doing wonderfully, but has been tricky with my main rude boy, Stanley. He doesn't want to share his girls, so I keep them separated. I've got wood coming tomorrow for a new coop. Okay, cool. So, but at least he's getting there. You know, he was actually my number 2 rooster too. So he wasn't the lead last time either. He, Black Francis, who was my black Australorp rooster. He was kind of my main guy. Yeah, like, so hopefully he kind of slots in well there. Hey, Allison, good to see you. My foot is actually, it's not 100%, but it's getting there. Like, I wouldn't want to run a marathon on it. But you know, walking around is fine. I still actually wear like a supportive shoe in the house versus going barefoot, which is what I've typically done. But other than that, I'm getting back to it. I think probably in a couple more weeks, I'll be 100%. Okay. Yeah. You see, I actually keep them all together. I find that, and maybe it's because I usually start the roosters when they're young. They're there. Oh, actually, Lil just came up here. What's up, Lil? Want to come up and say hi? Hold on, guys. Here, I'm gonna see if I can move my camera. We can take a moment with Lil. She's on the ground here. Whoop. Nope, that didn't work. All right, Lil, I'm just gonna have to bring you up here. Hang on. Come here. Come here. Don't say hi to everybody. Whoop. There she is. Can you guys hear her purr? All right, sweetie. I'll let you get down. Yeah, Lil's. Oh, actually, maybe she will just kind of sit and chill in my lap. Let's see. She was trying to get my attention just a minute ago, so that's why I felt like it was there. Ooh, here's an interesting question from Thomas. So I honestly don't know, but I will say I actually am not intending to profit anything personally. All of the proceeds that get raised I think they're going to be going to the Vermont Food Bank this year. You know, I've been really enjoying raising money for folks. And so it's not like I need money from selling catnip. And so pretty much all the profits, I think the one thing I might not donate is like the shipping costs. And I'm just trying to work out how I can do that separately. But everything else, like, you know, my time, labor, cost, production, all that, like, I'm just going to donate everything related to that. As far as it goes, but I will, when I do like my year-end wrap up, I will report on it to give you guys a sense of it. No changes, Scott. No changes. Okay, so Paula. So like I said, I'm like doing I'll call it like second draft / edit of the Little Barn Cat book as we speak. I'm trying to think new characters. There's a couple of new characters, but they're kind of relatively minor. The real truth of the matter is all the major characters. So, you know, Toby, Pablo, obviously Lil, Grody Otis, Victoria the Owl, Actually, Jessica Coyote comes into play pretty significantly in this book, surprisingly. They all are back in this whole adventure. But the Pablo book is going to be a little bit different too. But I don't want to give anything away. It's too far ahead. And I honestly I have an outline crafted, and I don't have anything beyond that right now. Name for new rooster: Chubby Checkers. I like that. That's kind of fun. Oh, people are saying Beetlejuice. Is that a rooster suggestion name? That actually could be fun. Rooster name, Mr. Crowley. Mr. Crowley, do, what you got in your head? Sorry, really bad Ozzy Osbourne. How's the flood recovery going in Vermont? I think it's okay. I mean, most of the things have been addressed. There's actually the road that runs along the side of our farm is still, it's probably years from being fixed if it ever does get fixed. I'm actually in full support of not fixing it. But there's that. There's some folks who, like one of our neighbors who lost their house, they actually just found a new place a couple towns away. Sadly, they're not going to be able to stay in our town, but so that's there. I think, I mean, I feel like if I said, oh, it's all been fixed, it would feel like it's completely shortchanging things, but there's been tremendous amounts of progress made too. So I don't want to underscore that. So it's gratitude. It's getting better, but it's still not 100%, I guess, is the answer. Well, you Penn, I'm glad you found us. Yeah, squirrel, that's me. No doubt about it. Yeah, I think I know the part you guys are going back to when I got completely distracted by Cavella. It would be an adult, Bryce Steve. Domino. I like Domino. Oh, thanks, Matt. Actually, Barbara, if you watch the video, I think that I just put out Monday, you'll see Barry White go away. And I'll also say that when you watch tomorrow's video, you'll also notice that there's a couple of things, like I mysteriously dumped some stuff off in the woods. That was from our butchering day, and we have a lot fewer chickens on the farm now. Hey, what's going on, Cape Cod Life? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Avery. It's going to be an adult. I'm not going to answer the sex question. I'll keep that a mystery for now. Oh, well, Edward, I'm really glad you like this. I actually have fun doing it too. Even though tonight I got to admit I'm exhausted. Goat collector. Thanks, Katrina. All right. So, I don't know. I was trying to say, all right, I'm going to answer this, but really quickly, because I know a lot of folks were saying they didn't want politics. I mean, honestly, it gets down to this. I think, Phil Scott, well, I've got some issues with some of the things he does and pushes for. He's not bad. And so, yeah, he's a positive option. So it doesn't surprise me that he's been very successful here. And I wish things on the national stage moved more in his direction versus the direction that they've gone. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm stopping. I'm not talking anymore. The goats are exceptionally eco-friendly lawnmowers. They'll take your grass and weeds and they'll give you raisinets. It's a totally fair trade. Oh, Rebecca, I mean, so when I was talking about the tiers of animals, if you guys missed this earlier, I was saying that the goats are really upper tier animal for the farm. I'm going to actually give you guys an official, as of November 6, 2024, forced ranking of all my animal groups. The guard dogs and the barn cats are the top tier. They are effectively our family members, co-workers, not humans, but darn close to it. And so they are like all 5 of them are on that top tier. So Toby, Abby, Pablo, Ginny, Lil, top tier. Like, yeah, no question about it. The very next tier down, though, is like actually where the goats are starting to emerge as the number 2. Then number 3, I've got the cattle. Then number 4, the geese. Number 5, the ducks, I think. Number 6, the chickens. But like honestly, the geese, ducks, and chickens are all also on their own same tier. Number 7 is pigs, no doubt about it. So yeah, there you go. So the barn cats rank as high as they possibly can. And yes, Barbara, I know it's kind of shocking that, yeah, they kind of, I mean, I don't know. It's tough because the cattle are actually very important to me. The cattle are still probably my favorite livestock on the farm. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say they're above the cattle. They are essentially maybe the same tier as the cattle. I don't know. It's hard to say because they're just so different, I mean, yeah. Casanova. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, and no lithium batteries. So yeah, they're kind of winners. Yeah, so hey, what's going on? I'm not sure if this is Tori or Sydney, but um so the goats are like joie de vivre and clearing brush. They're not intended for the freezer at this point. When I first brought them on, I will admit I was kind of ambiguous of where they would go and wanted to definitely reserve the right that after 6 months I could make the decision to put them into the freezer. At this point, though, no, it's just not going to happen. I'm too personally attached to Barnacus, Telemachus, and Larn, and so no, they do a great job clearing brush, and they are outstanding comedic relief, and yeah, that's their role on the farm now. Okay, I'm scrolling through here, trying to catch up with your questions here. Okay, I think I just answered that too. Bobby the Brain Heenan, Paul. I like that. I thought he was hysterical. I loved him. I mean, I didn't like him as a kid. I kind of hated him, but like I always, looking back on it now, I think he's an absolute genius. I love Bobby the Brain. What animal can the farm squad convince you to get next? First dog, second dog, pigs, goats. We're 3 for 3. Yeah. I mean, so please don't take this the wrong way, guys. Like, this is not me saying this is going to happen, but like, to Sarah's question, like, what's the next thing I'm thinking about? I think if I were to get any new animal next, I think the most likely candidate would maybe be to do something like a herding dog. So not a like a Maremma or other guardian dog breeds like Toby and Abby, but a dog that I could train and use to actually move the cattle primarily, but also could come in handy with moving goats or ducks or geese. And so that is, I don't know. It probably won't happen in the next year plus, but it is the thing I'm like thinking about the most, and I'm actually doing some research on it. I'm still not even sure if it's right for me, but I'm considering it. Did you ever cover the new bull? Well, I mean, we've had the same bull now for let's see, came February of 2023, so almost 2 years, and he's been great, and he's going to be here easily several more years. So I have no plans for any other additional bulls from now. Oh, well, that makes me feel so happy to hear that you guys are. Aw, that honestly, it's been a tough day, but P&W Farm Story, just hearing that comment, that makes me feel really good. So I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna get. Or I shouldn't say. I think I can guarantee you I won't have pigs next year. I think probably in 2 years we'll end up getting another batch of pigs. I think the problem with like kunis or mangalitsas or like other exotic breeds are number one, they sort of like take longer time to raise up, and number two, they're more excuse me, they're more expensive and they're harder to procure. And so given the way that I raise them and just try to like kind of keep it relatively simple, I'm not going to go in that route, and I have even less than zero interest in trying to get into breeding cattle. It's just that is not in, or I'm sorry, not breeding cattle, breeding pigs. I'm apologizing that I'm exhausted. um, but yeah, so I don't think I will do something like that anytime soon. Camel? No, I won't be getting. I don't think I'll be getting camels. I hope I don't get camels. Well, I'm glad you're hanging out there, Lady Rorschach. I don't keep a journal of my animals, but I do actually journal a lot. Like it is something I do every single day in terms of writing my thoughts down, things that happen on the farm. And what is nice is I can kind of go back and look at things that have happened. I think the combination of that plus the videos I shoot, it's incredible how much information I have on this farm and how easily it is I can look back on stuff. But it's not like I don't have like a specific animal journal I keep. Did I know polar is good for 18 months? I mean, I believe that. I bet I'm gonna bet you it's probably even good longer than that. Like sealed in a can like this, I bet it could stay carbon. I don't know. I would be willing to drink a 5-year-old polar seltzer in a can. I wouldn't have any concerns about doing that. Thanks, Cece. I wish it would slow down too. But I mean, honestly, I appreciate everybody firing in here. It just means like, for example, you posted this comment at 7:47. It's now 8:09. And so I'm just doing my best to keep up. I'll keep going through. No, Polar has never responded to me. I honestly should switch brands just out of spite, but I still remain loyally drinking their seltzers. I actually could see myself doing turkeys. I was thinking about some stuff for the farm next year, and I don't know. Turkeys, I might do a turkey experiment. Don't get all worked up here, but it is something I'm thinking about for next year. Oh, RJ, I didn't realize you were part of the Roy family. I mean, I know the Roys, and I know Roy Mountain. I mean, I see it every day. I didn't realize you had the relation there. Okay, that yeah, it is a small area for sure. Um, oh, okay. I'm seeing what Sharon's saying here, and I don't even know the context in which she's responding, but yeah, I'm gonna guess that if she's talking about like animal bedding, this is actually important for anybody to think about. Whenever you're doing animal bedding, wood chips, wood shavings, even sawdust in certain situations, and straw are all good material. Hay is less good. It turns slimier and gets gross. And so you can use like a little bit of hay, like a little bit of hay can fall on the ground. It's no big deal, but you don't want to use it instead of straw. Straw is much better. It's much more absorbent. And it is a far superior medium for animal bedding, and it actually makes for better compost because oftentimes if you're using just hay and you're composting like manure and hay, you can have still like a lot of weed seeds that don't burn off inside of it. and so the compost you make will tend to be a little bit weedier versus if you're using straw, it rarely ever has that. Beetlejuice keeps coming up, Avery. I kind of like it. I will admit. So all right, I'm going to tell some Beetlejuice interesting things. So as a kid, I loved the Beetlejuice movie. I grew up obsessed with it. In college, I actually took a screenwriting course at Tufts University, which is the college I went to. And it was taught by the guy who actually wrote Beetlejuice, and which was kind of an interesting experience. But the even like crazy sadder part is he died like halfway through the semester. And so the course kind of just like fell apart when he died, which was really sad and unfortunate. But he was clearly having some issues. And so, yeah. And then, but I still have not seen the sequel yet. Allison saw it and she loved it. I don't know. I haven't gone to the movies in so long. I prefer to watch movies either downstairs or like on an Apple Vision Pro. I kind of hate going to the movies these days, but I will watch it soon. And it's funny. So, they filmed the first movie and the second movie not too far from here, just a couple towns away. And so, like, my best friend from high school, he was actually up here and visiting the farm with his girlfriend. It was about a month ago. And like when they were up, I was like, "Oh, what do you guys want to see around here?" And they're like, "We heard the Beetlejuice house is around." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's not too far. It's like a half an hour drive. Let's go." And so we went and we did like the touristy Beetlejuice stuff in Corinth, and like just it was a lot of fun. It was like cool. Like you can see the place where the boarding school is. You can see like the downtown area, or like where like in the first movie where the covered bridges. Like you can see all the stuff that was actually in the movie. And so if you're ever passing through, it's totally worth taking a couple minutes to check it out. Janice is asking about the cafe. So yes, there is actually a new operator for the cafe. I think here's the interesting thing about the Peacham Cafe. There actually isn't anybody to buy it. So the Peacham Cafe is an organization that's operated by the community. It's a nonprofit. The building itself is actually owned by Peacham Community Housing, which is this great nonprofit here in town that really works to help provide affordable housing as well as revitalize the community. And in fact, if you look at the charity that's been for most of our live streams this year, it's actually been for Peacham Community Housing. They actually own that building. Then they lease it out to an operator who's operating the cafe. And Avery and Lydia, who are this just really nice couple, and Avery is like an incredibly talented baker. They took over the cafe last month, and they've been doing a phenomenal job. And so, yes, we have a new cafe operator. It's been great so far. Thinking about getting some sentinel geese to guard my B&W. I don't know about that one, Billy. I've never had a goose guard a car, so I don't think I'd have good advice. Snowflakes. I don't know. I think people might take that one the wrong way, Allison. I mean, it might have different connotations in the UK, but here these days it kind of doesn't in the US. Sparky. I kind of like that. Thanksgiving and Christmas. Honestly, Roxy, when we do our Christmas meal, we do Christmas goose. That's usually our go-to. Ralph, I don't know. Two Ralphs? I don't know about that. I don't think Ralph the Duck would be very happy about that. Elvis Peckley or Cluck Ramone? Maybe. Oh gosh, I know, Sherry. My heart goes out to Justin and really everybody in that area, but especially Justin and Rebecca. They've been having a tough go over the last month or so. Yeah, no, I know. I much empathy for that, man. He's a good dude. I consider him a good friend. Like I really feel bad for them. Wait, Javier Bardem, the Bard Rock. Oh, Bard Rock. Maybe. Yes, Kestrel. Allison and I ate Fred. Or at least I think there might actually be like a quarter portion still down in the fridge, but yeah. Neil Diamond, huh? Oh yeah, I've definitely been to Ben's Mill, RJ. Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. Yeah, it's funny because yeah, we got Ben's Mill, and then there's the Peacham blacksmith here in the center of town, and so yeah, there's actually a couple interesting like blacksmithing operations you can see in there. What happened with that YouTube video? I don't know, Bruno. Which YouTube video do you refer to? um, I feel bad. Foghorn Leghorn. But here's the thing. I feel like I got to reserve that for a white rooster. Like I will do it someday because I will never get tired of doing the Foghorn Leghorn voice, but and just like muttering to myself. But yeah, I don't know. Gregory Peck. I like Gregory Peck. That's actually pretty good. Gregory Peck. That honestly, Corey Art, you have now submitted what is my favorite name so far. Yes, the cat. So actually, here's the interesting thing about the catnip. The goats have mowed it all down, and so they've gone in there, they've mowed it down, they did all the cleanup for me. I didn't have to do anything, and they also pooped all over the place, which is a good thing. And what I'm going to do is I will exclude them from that spot next spring and let that grow back up. And so I'm excited for that. Oh, Amber's asking where to subscribe to the mailing list. Hang on a sec. Let me get it for you. It's going. Okay. If you actually just go to goldshawfarm.com and scroll to the very bottom, you will see a place to sign up for the mailing list. So just go to our website, Amber, and you can scroll all the way down. Here, I'm going to just show you guys. Which, by the way, as I'm looking at this, I need to update our website. But I digress. But yes, if you go to goldshawfarm.com and you scroll all the way down, you will see the subscribe for infrequent updates, and then just give me your name and email address, and you will get your stuff. So yeah, that'll be actually the best way to find out. Either that or join our Patreon, and you'll find out when everything's coming. Fraggle Rock. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like it. I feel like it should be like, Gobo or Boober or something like that if it's going to be there. Colonel Sanders. Liz, I don't know. That gets a little morbid, eh? Our goats are Nigerian dwarfs, Big Mama. So you can let your daughter know that we have Nigerian dwarves. So all three of them are Nigerians. Corn huskers. See, but that feels like what they do in Nebraska. Here in Vermont, we use Bag Balm, but it's all kind of the same, I'm imagining. Yep, RJ. I actually just switched over to my snows the end of last week. So yeah, I'm ready to go. It's like one of those things I usually try to do it like right after Halloween. Yeah, it is. You can't stand it anymore. Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. Like, when I was a kid, my mom used to use Vicks Vapor Rub and put it on my chest if I had like a cold or a cough, and both the texture and smell just I can't handle it. Yeah. Any plans to get Ankole Watusi on farm, either a purebred or make a hybrid? Probably not. Just because they actually don't do great in our climate, at least to my knowledge, relative to other breeds. And I really like the Highlands above all else. I feel like the jury's still out on the Charolais. I've been glad that I've added them, but temperament wise, I see such a massive difference from the Highlands, and I definitely prefer the Highlands. Could you see a cat tricks in the snow? If so, the date is the number of big storms this year. Could you see cat Wait, tricks or trucks or tracks? Cat tracks. Like, I guess, yeah, you definitely see like cat footprints. I will make Christina next time we have some snow and I get out there and I can always, find some barn cat tracks. I will show them to you because yes, you can definitely see them. We won't get any new breeds of bird until the spring, but yes, we will be getting a couple new breeds of bird. The boulder, I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that, but I don't know. I still think I like Gregory Peck best of all so far. Hey, Lady Rorschach. What breeds would you recommend for a beginner for ducks and geese? For geese, I am really a big fan of the Toulouse. I think also the Pilgrim is a really good breed. Actually, particularly if you're just starting, the Pilgrims are great for a couple of reasons. One, it's easy to tell the males and females apart, and then two, they're just a little bit chill and they're a little bit smaller than the other breeds of goose. Oh, and then the other one that I love is the buff goose. I think buffs are a great breed. Skibbity Riz. I like that. That could be that. Stanley, you might have just beat. I think Stanley just beat out Gregory Peck with Skibbity Riz. Okay, you guys. Yeah, Katrina, you probably could count the number of times I've touched my face as that happened. All right, so Bag Balm is like a cream. Hang on, I'll bring it up on the screen here. It's like a cream or an ointment that just is really good for like chapped skin. So you can also put it like on your dog's feet or on their nose or something like that. Here, hang on a sec. Let me share with you the wonders of Bag Balm. So Vermont Bag Balm, made in the USA, simple ingredients. It's lanolin. Yeah, like I knew it had lanolin. That's like one of the important ingredients. So like the kind of stuff you have from wool. Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can actually find their ingredients for not their other products, but their original formula. Yeah, this is the one I want. Yeah, so this is the stuff I use. And yeah, I have like just like a big square box of it. Like this size one right here. Does it tell you the ingredients? Oh. Here it is. Ingredients. Petrolatum, lanolin, paraffin, water. Yeah, so it's basically like Vaseline and lanolin and a little bit of wax. But yeah, it's just like a good all around moisturizing cream, protective cream. I like it a lot. It's great. And yeah, actually, I'm curious. I know that they have like a building in Lindenville, which is probably like about a half an hour from here. It's like the town where like when I go to the butcher, that's where I go. Yeah, in the fall of 1889, the Lister brothers of Lindenville, Vermont, formed the Dairy Association Cow Cure. They hired Lindenville local John Norris to run the company. Oh, and then in 1899, Wells River, which is actually it's probably about 45 minutes away from Lindenville, but only about 15 minutes away from us. It's basically south of us. It's not far at all. So yeah, so it's definitely from Vermont, and it's actually definitely right from our area as well. And I definitely rub my face. I can feel it now. The bees are good, Lisa. I actually am probably going to move the bees all into one little spot on the farm, just so I can actually shelter them and get them protected a little bit better. But yes, that is the plan. Hunting season is actually I've been going out. I've probably gone out 4 times, 5 times, actually more than that. We went away this past weekend, so that kind of threw things off a little bit. Allison's cousin got married, and so we went to their very lovely wedding down in Charleston, South Carolina. And but yeah, I think I've gone out 5 times so far. No luck yet. Still hoping to get a buck. We'll see. I actually think I might end up starting to do either like archery so that I can extend my season out more. Oh, hey, Diane. Number one, better not kill any. In the book, I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to say anything. Ric Flair. Ooh, I like Ric Flair. Woo! That would be a good one. I don't have everybody confirmed yet, but I would absolutely love to do that. In fact, Natalie Naudis, who is like an extremely well-known, well-renowned audiobook narrator, who just also happens to be kind of a friend. She actually did the voice of Lil in the first book, and I'd love to have her back to do the voice of Lil in the second book too. She actually, I'm gonna give her a plug right now because I thought it was an outstanding book. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up. She actually wrote her own first book and she narrated it not too long ago, and it was really, really good. It's like a coming of age book. It's called Gay the Pray Away. All right. Hold on, I'm gonna share the screen here. And yeah, definitely if you guys are looking for like I don't know, like I would say it's for like a teenage audience and older. Definitely a good read, enjoyable. I really liked it. But just, essentially about a girl who grew up in kind of a really conservative home, getting a sense of who she is and kind of exploring that. And it just, I think Natalie did a tremendous job with it. And so, yeah, check it out. Excuse me. Rooster Cogburn. I like that, Annie. That's a good one. That is a really good one. He does have, you know what? Katrina, you make a very valid point here. And I know if I'm just going off of votes in the chat, Beetlejuice does seem like the most popular name. I mean, like, here it is. Allison's seconding that. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I do go. We'll see. I'll announce it before the end of this here. More time to get your nominees in here. Number one, so like Riker kind of number one vibe. All right. Goat our name, the Goat Fort. King Louis 16th because he's gonna lose his head. I might build a goat tower. I might. That might be a I'm bored in the winter project. Yeah. There's definitely some rescue options, but I actually think I'm gonna do Vermont Food Bank because I'm gonna be doing a couple other things with them this winter. So I think that's where it's gonna probably go, which I feel like is a very worthy cause too. Bartrock Obama, that's actually pretty good too. I like that. Copernicus, like the scientist and or Doc's dog's name in Back to the Future. I am sipping, Jaden, on it's cranberry lime seltzer this evening. 100%, Katrina, 100%. How many birds did we call? It wasn't a lot. This is actually probably the lowest number I've done in several years, but it was I think it was like 27 chickens and like 6 or 7 ducks, something like that. 7 ducks. So yeah, not a ton. So just a little less than 35. Chick-fil-A. It's so funny. I feel like there's two like schools of thought where there's some people who like to name their animals after food, like as both a kind of tongue-in-cheek joke as well as a gentle reminder of the purpose of the animal. And then there's other people who are actually more, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it because I kind of feel like it's like almost disrespectful. So yeah. 100% Lady Rorschach. Any goats we ever get on this farm, pretty much my goal is to have it be that any goats that we get is for them to have some sort of Bluey related name. So yeah, the answer is yes. I voted for Kamala Harris. Um, I might. I think here's the tricky thing, Lynn, and I've actually been thinking about this a little bit. Um, with the goats, they are escape artists, and so the fencing that would keep the like the cattle in place, which is not a lot, which makes it nice and easy to move them, would be hard for the goats. I think here's something that I think a lot of people don't necessarily consider when they're thinking about animal fencing in general. Um, when you have animal fencing, you need to be very conscious of this balance and like just the right amount of how hard it is to move that temporary fencing. Like, so for example, with the cattle, I'm just using like a single strand of poly wire and like, little stakes every 20-25 feet, which makes it very easy to set up and move fences every day. And it takes me like maybe 10 minutes each day to like just move their fencing and get all that rearranged. It's super easy. Moving the goat fencing is a lot more complicated. So if I'm using like the netting that I was using this summer with the goats, it takes more time, it's heavier, it gets tangled easier, it just kind of sucks, and it covers a lot less ground. And so if I were to try to house them with the cattle, I think I'd have that problem. I think the other thing I got to be really conscious of is we have a lot of coyotes in the area. And while the coyotes aren't really a threat or problem for the cattle, I would be more concerned about my goats. And so I'd probably need to have at least one of the dogs up there to keep the goats safe too. And so it's just like a lot of consideration. So that's not to say that I wouldn't do it. It's just that it's not as easy as just like saying, oh, that's what I want to do and just go for it. Oh, actually, I'm seeing a couple of comments on this. Yeah, honestly, that was kind of my favorite clip that I've had in a while too. I when I was like, oh, what this reminds me of is that commercial I used to see all the time as a kid. I think that, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get down to a conspiracy theory level, but yeah, that happens. I think the reality is it's just sometimes your content falls in favor with the algorithm versus not, for a variety of reasons. And yeah, it's been a little bit of a downswing. I'll admit that. Maybe I know. So I am interested in it, I guess, Jennifer, to answer your question honestly. I think whether or not I do it, I don't know, because it's the trade-off of it would be fun, but it might actually be such a like constant routine that excuse me, requires so much work that it stops being fun pretty quickly, and then I start to resent the goats, and I don't want that to happen. And so I don't know, I'm just not quite ready for it yet. So Avery, honestly, the cattle are still out in the main yard. Here, I will actually show you guys some footage from the other day where you can actually see the cattle out doing their thing. This footage will actually show up in tomorrow's video, but here, let me bring it in here. So yeah, this was the other day when it snowed. Yeah, like here are the cattle just out there doing their thing in the snow. And honestly, like they can just spend as much time as they need to. There's still grass for them to eat. Even like this morning where we had like the snow on the ground, they're able to like work through it and get through that snow pretty darn quickly. And plus the snow melts. Like you actually see it in this video where when I took the drone up, like in the shots that you're seeing here, like probably like, I don't know, it was like maybe 7:15 in the morning. There's like maybe about an inch of snow on the ground. But then by the time it was like, say, 10:30, 11 o'clock, pretty much all the snow had melted. Professor Peckington or Feather Locklear. See, Feather Locklear, that's actually really good, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it fits a rooster. Cats at the top where they feel they should be. Yes. Actually, I don't know if you can hear. Let me see if I can just point you guys at this. Lil is like, you can see her. She's just hanging out down there. She's got like a little catnip fish that usually will flap around when it's charged, but I think she knocked out the battery. And so I got to recharge it. She's just hanging out there. There we go. All right, I got to wrap up pretty soon here. I will admit, guys, I am fading, and I'm looking for a corgi. I know, or kelpie. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh wow, everybody's really excited about that one. Like I said, guys, not a done deal. It's something like I go through these like research phases from time to time, and that's where it was. So the answer, Kestrel, is because I really want to be able to give myself more ability to work with the goats and do a couple of other things. And if I have the pigs, I won't be able to do that. If I breed my cattle with AI, which I actually probably will do not next year, but the following year. So, at least with Betty Rubble and Belle, both of them will get artificial insemination because I don't want to breed them with Macho Man, who's their father. And so they would get bred in the spring, summer of 2025. Excuse me. I'm sorry, not 2020, 2026. Golly. The years tick by, my friends. The years tick by. No sign of Pigfoot, Scott. The only sign of Pigfoot is on the Pigfoot shirt. I know, Paula. You'd think I'd learn my lesson at some point. Oh yeah, there's I don't want to give it away, but I'm actually thinking I'll give it away. When you guys hang out here on these live streams, it actually makes me feel good to give these types of things away. So I'm just going to give it away. I am actually seriously considering building a cabin here on the farm. And so what I would basically be doing is like in the far back outer reaches of the farm. Actually, let me bring that drone shot back up again because it'll make it easier to show you guys. Let's see. Nope. So in the far back reaches of the farm, I'll wait for the drone to turn around and get to the spot that I want to show you. There's a spot that I have kind of picked out where I want to build like a tiny little cabin, particularly like something that I could go out to and like, maybe stay the night before go hunting the next morning kind of thing. And so if you actually look at the top of the screen and just picture going back about, I don't know, 1,000 feet or so, there's a spot where I'd want to put one. No, as much as Abby likes to try to herd, she's not an actual herding dog. She's kind of she's just not. Abby is an outstanding companion, but she's not a great farm dog, and so it's just one of those tough things. And so please don't take that as me saying I don't love her and that I don't think she has a place on this farm. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just also very realistic about like kind of what she can do and her skills, and so that's what I said. Healers. I don't know about healers. Oh, sometimes what happens is if you're not active, YouTube like will unsubscribe people every so often. So you gotta sometimes go in there and check, especially if you're not seeing your favorite creators. I love Sarah because she's never afraid not to call me out on my BS. All right. All right. I'm looking for names here. I'm getting to the end, and I'm looking for. Yes, that is also true, CC Cat. Because it is hollow, it makes for a better insulator. That is true. Oh yeah, I use the Apple Vision Pro all the time. I use it for editing. Like, so sometimes I'll just sit actually right here in this seat, and rather than look at my monitor, I'll just have that on my head, and it makes like this giant virtual monitor. It's pretty great. Also, like, I love watching movies on it and reading on it. There's a lot of things I like doing with it. I think it's actually pretty great. I think it's I think it is a wildly underrated piece of technology that has made great improvements in my life. And so, yeah. So Bruce, that's actually one of the things when I talk about potentially getting is it doing this weird tracking thing? When I sometimes think about getting a herding dog, that is actually one of the dilemmas I'm trying to solve for. And so it's not impossible. It's just you got to be thoughtful about it. Is really based on it what I've talked to with everybody around it. That's like the biggest thing to think about. Rooster Rockingham Rooster. Huh? Yeah, that would actually be fun to like do a day at the Peacham. Maybe I'll talk them into that. That could actually be fun. Do you like the layout of your farm? Would you change anything? I think overall I like the layout of the farm. Honestly, the biggest thing that I struggle with the farm is the old barn in terms of its location and size and how I'm able to use it and what I can use it for versus what I might want to ideally do with like say like winter housing for the cattle. Honestly, that's probably my biggest dilemma. If I had to be really honest with you there. And I don't think I would do a farm stand just because number one, I don't really want the hassle of doing a farm stand. I don't necessarily need to do it. Like, I sell out of my product so quick for like the farm stuff. Like it's almost unnecessary to do. So, yeah, no, I don't think I would do that. Bard Rockefeller. Bigfoot Jr., Shakespeare, the Bard Rock. Oh, Fuzzy Tail. All right. It's either Beetlejuice or Shakespeare. I'm liking both of those. Jerkington of Cluckington. That's funny. These are some really good. These are going on the list regardless. I don't know if I'm going to do that. What happened with that YouTube video in which they showed? Oh, they took it down. So they ended up taking it down. But then actually just the other day, somebody started sending me links. There's like a TikTok that's doing the same thing, totally different people. But people who keep just taking my videos and taking us and like using them to tell their stupid AI generated stories. It really makes me mad. Sergeant Pepper. See, I think Sergeant Pecker would be I don't know, maybe that's a little too vulgar. But yeah. The goats did not get high on the catnip. They just ate it and they seemed to like it. Beetlejuice. Yeah, I think Beetlejuice is it's I'm looking here. I'm jumping to the end to see if I missed anything, but I think Beetlejuice is going to be it. Yeah. All right, we're calling it Beetlejuice. So that is the name of the new rooster, Beetlejuice. Stay tuned for that. You'll see it in an upcoming video. Also, stay tuned. Tomorrow there will be a new video. It'll be a very chill, relaxing, serene, and beautiful video. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, there will also probably end up being a special secret live stream that pops up. As well as when I'm offering up the catnip later this month. And so stay tuned for that. And if you want to get access to that, your best bet is to probably sign up for our mailing list at goldshotfarm.com. And so with that, guys, thank you again to my moderators who have made this, such an easy chat to hang out in. So thank you, Katrina. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Lynette. Guys, if you really want to do anything, tonight, if you could go check out their YouTube channels, they all make some great content. They're also phenomenal people. And so just check out their channels, tell them Toby Dog sent you, give them some love, because without them it would be impossible. And without you guys, all of this would be impossible too. So thank you. And look, I know things might be very stressful for folks right now. And I know it might feel like holy crap, the world is ending. But at the same time, we'll get through it. And yeah, there might be bad stuff that happens. And I'm not going to deny that that's not going to be the case. But, but, but things will keep moving. And so hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Have a great night.